Hello and welcome, Mamata Pratap Singh. You're joining us on this special roundtable segment where we are, of course, decoding the day's biggest issues with the editors of ITV Network. We have with us Shivani Singh and Kriti Mehta today. Let me begin by asking you, Shivani, about what is leading to this sudden flurry in attacks on Indian vessels and how is India taking this up? The blockade has been on in the Strait of Hormuz for quite a few days. Why suddenly in the last 72 hours are we seeing these attacks increasing?
I think you need to understand the situation that has escalated. The ceasefire was violated. We saw Iran taking out attacks against Israel. And that's when the US thought that now it's time that it needs to also, show its strength. So basically, what happened was, despite knowing, that these are what reports are saying, despite knowing that there are, in fact, Indians on board, they carried out these precision strikes on the engine room. And that's how we come to know that 3 Indians died. So unfortunately, that's why India has taken note of this. We, in fact, also, issued a demarche to the US ambassador. We've called them to New Delhi to make sure that we express our deepest, concern regarding this. But what is happening is every day a new tanker is still being attacked. Today we got to know that another empty Jalveer has been attacked and there are Indians on board as well over there. So obviously very concerning. What I think is happening is now the situation is getting out of hand for Iran and for the US as well. And that's why they're trying to do everything they can to make sure to tell the world who is in fact the ruler of the Strait of Hormuz. I think that's...
India, of course, has been, striving for peace all along. We've been putting out that message. We have a good relationship with Iran. We have a good relationship with the US. Why should India be caught in the crossfire? And is India doing enough to protest this, Kriti? What is your opinion? Because now these are not mere attacks. 3 Indian lives have been lost.
That's exactly my question, whether just summoning the chargé d'affaires of US to India is actually enough after 3 Indians have already been killed. And should India not have done this earlier? Should India not... India is the chair of the BRICS this time around. India is the voice of the global south. Why is India not mulling support of other nations of the global south, probably sending a humanitarian mission to the Gulf and to the Strait of Hormuz, comprising doctors, comprising, medical experts and those who can rescue the stranded ships and our citizens who are there. Now, 3 lives lost is not a small case. And even now, yesterday we had a message from Donald Trump to Prime Minister Narendra Modi on completing 12 years. Netanyahu has recorded a video message, congratulated. So everybody, India is speaking with everybody, but why should we lose our men in a war that is not ours? And what India needs to do is, I don't think just summoning the chargé d'affaires is enough. There has to be a much more aggressive stance, especially when India has come to a position when it can register its voice in global matters.
The kin of the victims have also started speaking with the media, and they are questioning as to why these individuals were killed. Why weren't they just arrested? If the US felt that they were straying into, waters where they shouldn't have, why should they have been killed? Perhaps they could have been arrested. That is the question that the kin of the victims are raising.
But Uday, unfortunately, that's how US does it every time. It's not the first time this is happening. If recall the situation that we saw in Venezuela, in the Caribbean, US had huge, they had their cover in the Caribbean. They were striking vessels left, right, and center in the Caribbean. They could have arrested them then itself before they got the president hold of him. Why were they not? Because there was just suspicion. There's no real doubt at that time also of the US that the vessels that were there were trading oil illegally. It was only suspicion and still they were attacking the vessels. So that's what US is doing.
Interestingly, they haven't even expressed regret after this. There's been no expression of regret. Now,
understand that the reason why I think India is not taking a firmer stance, remember earlier they had in fact deployed the Indian Navy to rescue stranded ships when they were in talks with Iran. If they again send in, a military posture or a military team over there, this implies that India might just become an active participant in the war that it doesn't want to do. So I believe they are taking a cautious stand. They are trying to make sure that they talk to all the parties, and through dialogue and diplomacy, they make sure that everyone else is rescued. I think that's the...
Let's come back now to domestic shores from all of this, and let's talk about what's the biggest political story happening. Is the TMC going to merge with the Congress party?
Well, Sonia Gandhi, I don't know, from little birdies around, we're hearing she may have offered an olive branch to Mamata Banerjee. But it's interesting because TMC had actually formed after breaking away from the Congress party. And now with most of TMC loyalists, also including Shiny Ghosh, joining the rebel camp, today we've seen the third resignation of the member of parliament of TMC from the Rajya Sabha, so Khendu Shekhar Roy and Prakash, Sushmita Dev Prakash has also resigned today. Third, what are the options left with Trinamool Congress for its survival? Even Kalyan Banerjee today is complaining of arrogance of Abhishek Banerjee. I think TMC has to, use every possible mechanism that it has to its disposal to keep itself alive. Otherwise, I don't know what is the future of TMC.
It's quite interesting because the fact is that rather than pacify the rebels or rather than have party meetings internally, Abhishek Banerjee meeting Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi being met by Mamata Banerjee, this is very interesting. The action should be in Kolkata, but it's actually happening in Delhi. Now, of course, for the Congress also, it will be great if the TMC does merge with them. And in fact, the Congress party, there are other rumors are looking to also get back another individual who had left. Remember, Mamata Banerjee also was with the Congress earlier. And now she had, of course, formed the TMC and then, gone her own way and very successfully at that. Another individual who had done that was Sharad Pawar. He was also in the Congress. He had gone his own way, of course. Will he also merge back? Because there are murmurs in Maharashtra as well about a possible further split in the NCP-SP faction and the Shiv Sena UT faction as well. But, very rarely do we see a party implode the way the TMC is. Do you see this continuing?
I want to add this point. The rebel faction that we had, Rita Pratap Banerjee has clearly denied rumors of joining the Congress. He's come on record. He stated that no, we do not want to join the Congress. So those 20, yeah, that's why. And they call themselves as the Asli TMC per se. And we are seeing that, the Mamata Banerjee faction is weakening day by day. So this is a problem that the TMC is facing existentially. So we really need to watch out as to how this will pan out day in and day out. We are seeing parliamentary, members also resigning. You have West Bengal legislative members also resigning. The future seems to be very grim unless and until, Mamata Banerjee takes some firm action to keep the party together.
All right. Well, we will continue tracking this and lots more for you. Stay tuned to NewsX.